It is Food City Friday, and we have Chef Julie with us today in the Daytime Kitchen. Always good to see you.
Always good to be here.
Absolutely, but you're doing something today that I have no experience with whatsoever.
Really?
I mean, of course, I have experience with all these fruits and the whipping creams and everything, but you're making a dessert called a Pavlova.
Yes, and a Pavlova is basically a large meringue disc.
Okay.
And on it you layer whipped cream, lemon curd if you like, all kinds of fresh fruit, whatever's in season, and you just enjoy it and eat it. And it's more common in Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, England. In fact, I think it's kind of like a Christmas dish in Australia and New Zealand, if I'm not mistaken, because you know it's summer there for Christmas. And I kind of felt like it's still summer here.
Yeah, it is still summer here.
I'm starting to see some pumpkin spice pop up at the grocery aisles, and that's fine, but I'm like, it's still a little hot. And so I thought, let's have a dessert that's just perfect for those warm summer days. This is such a light, refreshing, delicious, seasonal flavor, and it's not that hard to do.
All right. Well, if it's not hard to do, let's get started and do it.
Well, we're going to make a French meringue.
Oh.
And I'll have the recipe, bakingwithjulie.com. Just go on there. But we use 4 eggs, or about a ½ cup of whites.
Okay.
You do 3/4 cup of sugar with 2 teaspoons of cornstarch put in there, and about a teaspoon of both the vanilla and lemon juice. The acid helps it stay better. And you whip that together. You'll add the sugar a little bit at a time.
Look how shiny it is.
I know it is nice and shiny.
Yeah.
Super important when you separate your eggs, don't let there be one speck of yolk. Not even a molecule, okay? Don't let your beaters be greasy and oily from the frosting you made earlier. Things got to be clean. If there's any grease in there, it's not going to whip up nice.
It's not going to work. Yeah.
But once it does, it's great.
Look how light and airy.
It is. It's wonderful. All right. So basically, once we have it all whipped up, and I'll get this kind of out of the way, then we're going to put it on a cookie sheet on parchment paper. Now, Food City has these wonderful pre-cut parchment sheets.
Right.
Perfect. So what we want to do is we want to draw circles on here, and I thought this was a good size for a pavlova. I just found a circle thing. So I lay it out, and I've drawn a bunch of circles, and I'll let you draw my last one, and I did it on the inside.
On the inside.
That's what I did, just to keep things simple, but you just kind of think about what size, any size will
My drafting teacher would be happy with me.
There you go. Now, turn this over.
Okay.
Now we have the marks.
Oh.
See, we've got the marks now.
But we're not touching the actual lead from the pencil.
But you're not touching the graphite from the pencil.
Or the graphite.
Right, exactly. And you don't have to use a pencil. You can use something else. But any shape will do. But that kind of gives you an idea. And you can see how I baked mine, how they kind of turned out. But let's just, now I'll be honest, if I had done this right off my mixer, this would work a little different. It has deflated a little bit on me, but we'll just take a spoonful, and you dollop, and you spread it out. Put a little bit of an indention in there, and I'll let you do one.
Okay. I'll try.
It doesn't take long, and honestly, the recipe that I gave you will make this plus about 2 others. So this is what I could fit on one, and you bake it in the oven at only 300, I think it's, or is it 325 degrees? It's not very high. And then you let it go for 1 hour. And then,
like that?
That's great. And then you turn off the oven and let them continue to sit in the oven for an hour so they continue to set up and kind of dry out. And in the end, you have these wonderful,
beautiful discs.
Feel how light that is.
I know. I was touching them. These weigh absolutely nothing. They're just like
They're super light, and they are fat-free.
No.
Well, they're not
we'll do that in a moment.
They're not sugar-free, y'all, but they are fat-free.
Okay.
And so the thing I like about this dessert is you can make these in advance. So if you want to go ahead and do all of that, the important thing is to seal them up airtight.
Okay.
As humid as it gets around here, y'all. You don't want the humidity getting to them, and they'll get kind of wimpy and start to get kind of soggy, and that is not what we want.
So when you get them to this point, then we start thinking about the toppings, and you have several toppings.
I have a bunch. Really, any fruit will do. You can do canned fruit. You can do fresh fruit. Any combination of any kind is whatever you like. The important thing is you don't put these together until you're ready to eat them.
All right. Well, I'm ready to eat them, but we're going to put them together just a little bit later in the show. We'll be back with more with Chef Julie just a little bit. Go to bakingwithjulie.com for more information. Also, for all of the ingredients you see here, go to foodcity.com.